Hello, everyone. Hi. The union of culture and mankind is immemorial part of this society, is this of this planet, and this quest, this particular union has always made me curious as a child. When you talk about the stories, old photographs of palaces, this has always made me curious as a child, and this curiosity has led somewhere towards the particular degree of architecture and shaping it towards the conservation architect, what my profession is called today. My passion, my profession, and a big team which includes architects, engineers, contractors, craftsmen. Together, we cut down things and make things simple. Something like this, which you see, we bring back life to these ruins. Something like this. This is from the Fort Govindgarh, which is a project which we are involved into. My profession comprises of two crucial words, conservation and architecture. By conservation, we often study the integrity and authenticity of heritage structures. And when it comes to architecture, I often tell that architecture is about people. So when we study the concept of people in architecture, we study the tangible and intangible aspect of it. Something which brought me to the study of Marathi Sangeet Natak as my research topic. And I have studied the understanding of how the theaters were done inside these various spaces, like you see in the Darbar Hall, Vadas, the temples, and the finally we are doing inside the hall. When we talk about conservation, conservation is about the study of a particular context. Now, every heritage site has a context. It's its site. It's about the particular material which has used, the construction technique which was traditionally part of this particular science of architecture. And when we study this, we document, we study this complete phenomena called as conservation. We start from making sketches, something like this, on the sites. These are the Bhivkund caves near Nagpur. Then we also try to make the technical drawings. Now, these are part of the entire exercise of conservation. We also do a lot of site visits. Like this is a World Heritage Site church I have worked on Goa, St. Francis Assisi. We try to decode the patterns which are traditionally done in the material, such as here you see on the timber. So we try to decode them, we try to study the geometry of the particular patterns. We try to do these technical drawings like the condition mapping, condition assessment. Sometimes we also end up doing only reports such as detailed project reports and impact heritage assessment. I am very happy to tell you that this is the first ever heritage impact assessment report done at Pawnee. So this is the first heritage report of the entire Vidarbha area. We do this kind of drawings which are done usually manually, but with the help of technology, the work has become very easy these days, which not only enhance our quality, but also help us to cut down the time of conservation and the site visits. So something like this we are doing with the use of LIDARs, drones, photogrammetry, hologrammy, all these imageries which we have produced. This is a temple at Amravati. So this helps us to give the technical understanding, the measurable. Now the government officers also get very easy access to the temple right there at their desktop. So they can just prepare estimates sitting inside the office with the help of this documentation, which is always there with them. The drone images. Now conservation, I believe, is more about talking, more about dialogues between various hierarchies of people. Now it starts with the cultural bureaucrat at the top and goes down towards the craftsman who has possessed the traditional knowledge system. It's all about sites, it's all about people, it's all about series of dialogues with various people like archaeologists, anthropologists, museologists, structural engineers, MEP consultants. A lot of people is involved in that. And when we get more lucky with the estimates, with the budgets, when government give the budgets to this kind of exercise, we involve a wide range of people who work together and make things together. This is something which you see how the lime is being made. Now lime, mortar, something, the material which is there and been always used on the heritage sites. Dialogues also bring us to a very important component, that is stakeholders. Now here you see an old man walking with me. He has played a very significant role in our heritage process, the conservation process. He is Mr. Pulwa Bareya, who was a caretaker of White Tiger Mohan in 1945. This Fort Govindgarh is soon going to be a heritage hotel, and in the entire process of its conservation, we have went through various documentation process. This is one of the documentation process where he took us all along the fort and showed us the fort's glory in 1940s. Now this was not only about imagination but also helped us to identify the wells which were lying there inside the debris. So there were this kind of source of water which was there on the site, which helped us to cut down our budget of the project. When we talk about the dialogues, we also has to understand that the earth has a particular set of people that are constantly practicing their culture. And what is culture? It's particularly you can say a habit or a interface or activity which arises out of a belief system. So when we talk about a belief system, the particular culture, particular community, it gives us the complete range of people who are coming together and having a curiosity about heritage. So when we understand this, we came across a very interesting idea that stories connect people and time together. And that's what we have formulated in our heritage walks when we are doing. And I'm very happy to tell you that this heritage walk was also featured in an Italian Cultural Center magazine, where they have made this walk as one of the most effective way of citizens' participation in the public awareness towards the heritage. Now we don't, majorly I don't believe more into awareness. I believe in education. Being a teacher, I believe in education. And that's why our heritage walk are not only heritage walk, but they are redefining the heritage walks as a heritage dialogues, where we bring the residents, we bring the professions, we bring the participants together and they talk to each other, and that gives us the solution about the heritage neighborhoods. So when we talk about this kind of principle, we have to understand that we will live in a particular set of community, and in the community there's no someone don't have something higher side or someone don't have something on the lower side, but it's something very common about everyone. And the community has a very important role. And as an architect, I believe that I'm fortunate that I was able to get trained in this particular exhaustive and immersive course of architecture, which talks about to understand the people, understand their needs, understand their response, and react to that particular site or react to the particular context. So when we talk about citizens, we also has to talk about their needs. We also has to play a role as an architect citizen. So that's what we have been doing on various grounds. So conservation is a holistic approach. When you talk about not only about a building, but the site, but the context and the community which are somewhere dependent on it. It has also to talk about the natural heritage or somewhere which we may not see from our eyes, but we feel the environment which is surrounding to it. And that also is a part of my job. Lastly, I would end this with a very small shlok from Manache Shlok, which is basically a dialogue with your mind. देहे त्यागिता कीर्ती मागे उरावी मना सज्जना हेची क्रिया धरावी मना चंदनाचे परी तवा जिजावे परी अंतरी सज्जना निववावे, which means you have got one life, and this particular life you have to work hard, and after you only your work and the philosophy is going to stay. You be like the chandan which suffers year long but only gives the fragrance at the end when the chandan is gone. So the human life is something like that. Whatever you do today, whatever you do tomorrow is going to stay here in this particular planet. You may go. So work hard and believe in yourself. That is what I want to give a message. And thank you very much for having me here.